She didn't just break my heart in that house. She broke my sons like they were criminals. I still hear the sound of metal rattling when they move in their sleep, because their own mother once chained them to a basement pipe like dogs while her lover slept in my bed upstairs. Hit like, subscribe for more betrayal stories, and comment your city or country. My name is Adrian, and before all this, I thought I'd already survived the worst a person could. I've been deployed in places where the sky glows orange at night and the ground vibrates under your boots. Places where you learn to sleep with one eye open and your hand near a rifle. In those days, I thought war meant sand, smoke, and strangers trying to kill you. I didn't know the worst war I'd ever fight would be inside a quiet American house, with baby pictures on the wall and my sons chained in the dark. I left the special operations community a few years before all this, trying to be normal for once. My ex-wife, Morgan, used to say she hated the constant goodbyes, the duffel bags by the door, the mystery of where I was going and what I was doing. So I retired, took a security job, tried to be a present dad, and thought I was giving us a second chance. Turns out, I was the only one trying. Our divorce hit me like a slow car crash. No cheating that I knew of at first, just fights about money, time, my temper, her moods. She said I was too strict, too intense, that I brought war energy home. The judge gave her primary custody of our boys, Logan and Mason, because I traveled more and had a high-risk background. I remember standing there in court, listening to a lawyer who barely knew my name talk about me like I was a loaded weapon. So I took what I could get, weekends, holidays, extra days when she felt generous. I painted their old bedroom at my place. I set up a video game station. I learned how to cook more than eggs and frozen pizza. I told myself it was temporary, that one day they'd be older and choose where they wanted to live. I clung to that thought like it was body armor. Then she met him. His name was Victor. Soft hands, loud laugh. The kind of guy who wears expensive cologne to pick kids up from school. I met him once in the driveway. He stuck his hand out and said, "Hey man, I hear you're the tough one." Like it was some kind of joke. Something in me didn't like him instantly, and that had nothing to do with jealousy. It was the way he looked past me, over my shoulder, like I was already gone. At first, the boys didn't say much about him. "He's just mom's friend," Logan would mutter. Mason would shrug, but I could see the tension in his shoulders whenever Victor's name came up. I asked them, gently, if everything was okay over there. They both said the same thing kids always say when they don't want to make trouble. "We're fine, Dad." "It's okay." Except it wasn't okay. I started noticing small changes. They got quieter. They flinched at sudden noises, like doors slamming or footsteps on stairs. One night, when they were staying with me, Mason crawled into my bed at 2 in the morning, shaking. He didn't tell me why. He just said, "Dad, can I sleep here? I don't like the dark anymore." I asked Morgan about therapy for them. She rolled her eyes and said, "You're always trying to turn everything into trauma. They're kids. They're fine." Our texts got colder. Her replies got shorter. Then came the excuses. "They're sick this weekend. Logan has a project. Victor's parents are in town. We already promised them." Weeks started slipping by with me barely seeing my boys. I was one phone call away from filing for a custody review when the message came. It was a Tuesday night, around 11:30. I was at my small kitchen table, going through bills, when my phone buzzed with a number I didn't know. Normally, I ignore those. Years in my old line of work taught me to keep life tight, controlled. But that night, something in my gut told me to pick up. "Yeah, this is Adrian," I said. A woman's voice, low and shaky, came through. "You don't know me. My name is Ivy. I live next door to your ex-wife." Instantly, my heart kicked harder. "What's going on?" I asked, already standing up, chair scraping back. She hesitated. I could hear her breathing. I've been trying to convince myself I'm wrong, but I can't anymore." I walked to the window without knowing why, staring out at the empty street. "Spit it out," I said, my voice getting flat in that way it used to when things got serious in the field. It's your boys, she whispered. I keep hearing noises. From the basement. Crying. Metal. They're not allowed outside much anymore. And tonight, she sucked in a breath, like she was afraid someone would hear her. Tonight, I saw Victor drag them down the basement stairs. They were begging. I heard chains, Adrian. Chains. Everything inside me went still and cold. You sure? I said, even though my body already believed it. I know what I heard, she said. I know what I saw. Please, I can't sleep knowing this. I tried calling the non-emergency line, but they told me without proof. Her voice cracked. You need to come. Now. The next minute was a blur. Keys. Boots. Jacket. My training kicked in like a muscle memory I hadn't lost. I wasn't driving to my ex-wife's quiet suburban house anymore. I was rolling toward a target. On the way, my mind tried to reject it. Morgan might be selfish. She might be cruel with her words. She might have moved on faster than I thought humanly possible. But chaining our sons? Locking them in a basement? Even the version of her I hated didn't line up with that image. Then I remembered the way Logan flinched when I asked him if he felt safe. The way Mason checked the locks at my place twice before bedtime. The way Victor smiled too wide and too fake. I blew 3 stop signs. By the time I turned onto their street, my hands were so tight on the wheel my knuckles ached. The house looked the same as always, soft yellow light in the front room, tidy yard, the kind of place that would show up in a real estate brochure with the words, perfect family home, under it. If you didn't know better, you'd think peace lived there. I parked 2 houses down. Old habits. Always give yourself space. I spotted a woman standing half-shaded by a tree, arms wrapped around herself. She looked over as I got out of my truck and hurried toward me. Ivy, I said. She nodded quickly. Short hair, glasses, tired eyes like she hadn't slept in weeks. I'm sorry, she said. I know this is crazy, but I keep hearing them, Adrian. Little voices. Whimpering. I thought at first it's just kids playing rough, but it's not. Her voice broke. Your older one, Logan. He was knocking on the basement window glass last week. Soft, like he didn't want anyone to hear. I saw his face. He looked terrified. Something in my chest ripped. How long? I asked, my jaw tight. How long has this been going on? She looked down. I don't know. I didn't want to believe it. I thought maybe they were just being punished, you know? Timeouts. But this is not a timeout. I heard the chains tonight. Real metal. I swear. I looked at the house. Front door closed. Curtains drawn. Somewhere inside were my sons. Somewhere inside was the woman I once loved and the man I never trusted. I'm calling the cops, I said, reaching for my phone. I already tried, she whispered. They said they'd send someone when they can. But you know how that goes. And if she talks her way out of it, if they don't see anything, I'm scared it'll get worse for the boys after they leave. She was right. I'd seen this before in different uniforms, different systems. Show up too fast with no proof, and monsters learn how to hide better. I slipped my phone back into my pocket, heart pounding in my ears. Every instinct I'd ever trained screamed at me to move, to breach, to get my sons out of whatever hell waited below that carpeted hallway. You said you heard them tonight? I asked. She nodded. About 15 minutes before I called you. Crying. And then nothing. Nothing. Silence is worse than screams sometimes. Go back inside, I told her. If anyone asks, you didn't see me. Adrian, she said, voice small. What are you going to do? I looked at that house, that pretty little war zone she'd built with my children inside. I felt years of discipline snap into one clear line of thought. I'm going to get my sons, I said. One way or another. I stepped off the curb, heart racing but eyes steady, moving toward the front yard I once mowed on Sunday mornings. Everything looked normal. Porch light on, a pair of small sneakers by the mat, a wind chime barely moving in the night air. But with every step closer, I heard it. Faint, muffled, a sound I'd recognize anywhere. Metal scraping concrete. And then, underneath it, a voice. Dad, please. I froze on the walkway, breath locked in my chest. realizing with sick certainty that the war I thought I'd left overseas had just come home, and this battlefield had my son's fingerprints all over the walls. That whisper from the basement window hit me like a sniper round, precise, deadly, straight through the chest. Logan's voice, so small and cracked, begging for me through inches of glass and concrete. I crouched low by the bushes, scanning the house like it was enemy territory. Every light, every shadow, every possible entry point burned into my brain from years of training I swore I'd left behind. I couldn't wait for cops. Not now. Not with that silence hanging heavy after his plea. The side gate was unlocked, sloppy, but it worked for me. I slipped into the backyard, avoiding the motion light by memory. I'd barbecued here 100 times, taught the boys to throw a ball right on this grass. Now it felt like approaching a booby-trapped compound. The basement access was under the deck stairs, a bulkhead door half hidden by overgrown shrubs. Rusted lock, but solid. I pulled my multi-tool from my pocket, the one thing I always carried, habit from the old days. It took 30 seconds to pop the latch without a sound. The door creaked open just enough. Damp air rushed out, mixed with something sour, like fear and unwashed clothes. I eased down the concrete steps, phone light off, letting my eyes adjust to the black. My boots made no noise, muscle memory again. At the bottom, a single bare bulb hung from a wire, casting long shadows across storage boxes and old holiday decorations. And there, against the far wall, bolted to a thick pipe, two small shapes huddled together. Logan and Mason. Chains around their ankles, thick links like something from a prison movie, padlocked to the plumbing. They were filthy, faces streaked with dirt and dried tears, clothes rumpled like they'd been down here days. Logan saw me first. His eyes went wide, mouth opening, but I pressed a finger to my lips hard. I crossed the room in 4 silent steps, dropping to one knee. "It's me." I breathed, barely audible. "Hold still." Mason whimpered, reaching for me with trembling hands. "Dad, she said you weren't coming." Logan gripped my arm, voice a rasp. "Victor did it. Said we were bad. Mom just watched." Rage boiled up, but I shoved it down. "Focus. Free them first." The padlocks were cheap, but the chains heavy-duty. My multi-tools bolt cutters strained against the links. One snapped, then the next. "Shoot, easy," I whispered as Mason's ankle bled from the rubbing. Logan helped his brother stand, both leaning on me hard. I scanned for cameras, exits, threats. Nothing obvious. Upstairs, faint laughter. Her laughter, mixed with his low rumble. They were watching TV, probably wine glasses in hand, oblivious. I lifted Mason onto my back, took Logan's hand. Quiet as ghosts. "We're out." Up the stairs, hearts slamming. The bulkhead closed behind us with a soft click. We hit the grass running, low and fast, to my truck 2 houses down. Ivy's porch light flickered on as we passed. She saw, nodded once, disappeared. I buckled the boys in, hands shaking for the first time. "You hurt bad." Logan shook his head, but Mason curled into the seat, sobbing silently. "Hungry, Dad. And cold." I cranked the heat, peeled out slow to avoid attention. My place was 20 minutes away, safe, stocked mine. On the drive, pieces started falling. "How long, buddy?" I asked Logan softly. 3 days, he whispered. "We got in a fight about school. Victor grabbed us. Mom said it'd teach us respect." Respect. The word twisted in my gut like a knife. At my apartment, I ran a bath, made peanut butter sandwiches, wrapped them in blankets. They ate like wolves, then crashed on my couch, Chain's red marks glaring under the lamp. I sat vigil, phone in hand, snapping photos of the wounds, the links I'd cut free. Evidence. By dawn, I called my lawyer, Preston, a no-nonsense guy who'd handled my divorce. "Adrian, it's 5 a.m., he grumbled. "Get up." My ex chained the boys in her basement. "I have proof. We're filing emergency custody today." Silence, then, "Holy, okay. Meet me at the courthouse in 2 hours. Bring everything. Court opened early for emergencies. Preston met us in the parking lot, eyes widening at the boy's ankles. Jesus. Sorry, this is bad. Judge Harper's on today. She doesn't mess around with kids. Inside, sterile halls, the boys clinging to me. Morgan's lawyer showed late, smug, with her in tow, perfect makeup, like nothing happened. Judge Harper, sharp-eyed woman in her 50s, scanned the photos I slid across. Mr. Hale, explain. I told it straight. The call, the basement, the chains. Logan added quietly. She locked us, Your Honor. With Victor. Morgan gasped theatrically. He's lying. Adrian took them without permission. He's unstable. Ex-special forces. Preston countered hard. We have timestamps. Neighbor corroboration pending. These marks don't lie. The judge's face hardened. Temporary custody to Mr. Hale, pending investigation. Ms. Hale, you're restricted from the children until hearing. Bailiff. Morgan's scream echoed as they led her out for questioning. Victor nowhere in sight. We walked free, me and my boys, into sunlight that felt wrong after that dark. But victory tasted bitter. Questions burned. Why? How deep did this go? That night, as the boys slept soundly for once, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. A photo loaded. Our old wedding album page, her handwriting underlined, finally free of him. Attached. This isn't over. You took what's mine. I stared at the screen, realizing the basement was just the opening shot. This war had barely begun, and she'd just painted a target on all of us. That thread on my phone lit a fire under me, but I played it cool for the boys. They needed stability, not more fear. I kept them home from school, called in a doctor friend for a quiet checkup. Bruises on their ankles fading, but the haunted looks in their eyes? Those would take longer. Preston moved fast. By noon, we had a protection order against Morgan and Victor. No contact, no approaching within 500 yards. He also looped in child services. Not my favorite people, but necessary. A caseworker named Clara showed up that afternoon, notebook in hand. She was kind-eyed, no nonsense. Sat with Logan and Mason separately while I paced the kitchen. Logan spilled more than I expected. Victor hates Dad. Calls him a killer. Mom laughs and says Dad's too dangerous for us. Mason added, voice tiny. They locked us 'cause we wanted to call Dad. Said he'd take us away forever. Clara's pen stopped. She looked at me. This goes beyond punishment, Mr. Hale. We're recommending full investigation. Morgan's denial came via her lawyer that evening. A slick guy named Quentin who texted Preston. Client claims boys ran away. Fabricated story for daddy time. Preston snorted when he read it aloud. They'll push for supervised visits. We need more ammo. I nodded, but my mind was already turning. Years in Black Ops taught me intel wins wars. Time to dig. That night, after tucking the boys in with extra locks on their door, I fired up my old laptop. Secure VPN, deep web traces, habits die hard. Victor's name pulled up scraps. Real estate hustler, 2 bankruptcies, a sealed assault charge from 5 years back. Morgan's socials were locked down, but Cash Post showed the cracks. Vacations without the kids. Him in family photos, tagged my rock. One buried comment from her sister, Brooke, careful with the boys, sis. They need their dad too. Deleted, but screenshots live forever. Next morning, Ivy called. Adrian, cops came by. Morgan spun some tale about you breaking in. But I told them everything I heard. Gratitude hit hard. You saved them, Ivy. Oh, you. She paused. There's more. Last week, I saw Victor loading boxes into a truck. Looked like kid stuff. And papers. Divorce papers. My gut twisted. Selling the house. With the boys still inside. I thanked her, hung up, called Preston. Push for house search. She's liquidating. Court reconvened 2 days later. Judge Harper's chamber this time. Closed doors, serious faces. Morgan sat across, eyes red but defiant. Victor absent. Her lawyer Quentin droned. No evidence of chains. Boys exaggerated. Mr. Hale's military PTSD influencing them. Preston slid over Ivy's sworn statement. Doctor's report, my photos. Exaggerated? These are ligature marks. Clara testified next. Children consistent. Fear of mother and Victor clear. Recommend no contact. Judge Harper leaned forward. Ms. Hale, explain the basement. Morgan teared up. They were grounded. Playing rough. Adrian overreacted. Logan, brave kid, spoke up from my side. Chains, Your Honor. Real ones. We couldn't move. Silence stretched. Harper's gavel cracked later. Full temporary custody to father. House search authorized today. Ms. Hale, surrender passports pending fraud probe. Morgan lunged forward. You can't. That's our home. Bailiff pulled her back. As they let her out, she locked eyes with me. Pure venom. You'll regret this, Adrian. Search team hit the house that afternoon. I waited with the boys at a park, nerves frayed. Preston called at dusk. Found chains in trash. Basement cleaned, but luminol lit up blood traces. And insurance policy. $1 million life on the boys. Recent beneficiary changed to Victor. Sick. She'd chained them to stage something worse? We got the all clear. I drove by slow, yellow tape, cop cars, her tidy life unraveling. Back home, boys crashed early. I sat with a beer, staring at that threat text. Who sent it? Her? Victor? Phone buzzed again. Brooke, Morgan's sister. Unknown to me before. Adrian? It's Brooke. I need to meet. I know what she did. All of it. Heart raced. Family turning? I agreed to coffee shop neutral ground, tomorrow. But as I hung up, headlights swept my window, slow cruise past the house. No plates visible. Engine cut. Then gone. Sleep didn't come. That car meant eyes on us. The basement was behind us, but the real shadows were just stepping into the light. And Brooke's call felt like the first crack in their wall. Brooke showed up at the coffee shop right on time, looking like she hadn't slept much herself. Tall, nervous, twisting a napkin in her hands as she sat across from me. The boys were with Clara for a supervised play date. Safe, monitored. I told them I had a quick errand. No details. They didn't need more weight on their shoulders. Thanks for coming, I said, keeping my voice low. Place was half empty, but walls had ears. What do you know? She glanced around, leaned in. Adrian, Morgan's my sister, but this isn't her. Or maybe it is, and I've been blind. Her eyes filled up. I helped her move in with Victor 6 months ago. Thought it was just post-divorce rebound. But I saw things. Fights. Him yelling at the boys when she wasn't around. I nodded, letting her talk. Intel gathering, patient mode. Last month, she asked me to watch them for a weekend. Said you were causing trouble in court. But when I picked them up, Logan had this bruise on his arm. Said he fell. Mason wouldn't look at me. She swallowed hard. I confronted her. She flipped. Said you were the violent one. That special forces made you crazy. But I knew better. You'd always been good to them. Good to them. The word stung because I'd missed so much, deployed too long. What about the basement? I asked flat. Brooke's face crumpled. She told me it was tough love. Victor's idea, discipline them so they'd stop asking for you. I thought she meant grounding. Not chains. She pulled out her phone, slid it over. A photo. Morgan and Victor at a bar, arms around each other. Timestamp 2 nights before the basement hell. Caption deleted, but visible. Freedom tastes sweet. I screenshotted it. There's more. Text she sent me, drunk once. Adrian deserves to lose everything. The boys will see. My fists clenched under the table. Not just betrayal. Calculated. Why tell me now? Because the search. Cops found my old key under her mat. She lied, said it was yours. They're questioning me tomorrow. She wiped her eyes. And Victor, he's not who you think. I overheard him on the phone last night, talking about the policy payout if things go south. Adrian, they were planning something bigger than chains. Policy payout. Echoed the insurance find. My skin crawled. I thanked her, promised to loop Preston in. She left shaky, but lighter. Back home, Boys were coloring at the table, pretending normal. Mason ran over, hugged my leg. Missed you, Dad. Logan watched me careful. Everything okay? Yeah, buddy. Getting there. I ruffled his hair, but inside, gears turned. Preston called that evening. Brooks' statement gold. Judge Harper wants a full hearing next week. Pushing fraud charges on the insurance. Beneficiary switch without notice. Good. What about Victor? Slippery. No record on the chaining, but assault charge unsealed today. Bar fight, 5 years back. He's lawyered up with Quentin. I hung up, checked the windows. That cruising car from last night. Paranoia or real? Installed extra cameras that night, subtle ones, wired to my phone. Old skills. Boys slept. I didn't. Stared at the ceiling, replaying Brooks' words. Morgan's sister turning. That fractured their front line. Next day blurred into therapy. Clara recommended a family counselor, Tessa, soft-spoken with a way of drawing kids out. Logan went first. Came out quieter. She asked about Mom. I told her everything. Mason drew pictures. Happy family on one side. Dark basement on the other. Tessa showed me later. He's processing anger. At her mostly. Tessa pulled me aside after. Adrian, you're stable, but this threat text? Report it. And Victor's history, pattern of control. She handed me a card for a PI. Off record, but might help. I took it. Drove to the courthouse for protection order extension. Harper signed it quick, eyes sharp. Mr. Hale, stay clean. No vigilante stuff. Understood, Your Honor. But clean didn't mean blind. Evening brought the twist I didn't see coming. Phone rang, unknown. I answered cautious. Adrian Hale? Male voice, official. Detective Grant, Child Endangerment Unit. Yeah. We searched the house again today. Found something in Victor's office. Hidden drawer. Pause that stretched. Your divorce papers. Forged. Signature matches yours, but ink analysis says post-date. Custody mods too. You supposedly waived rights. Forged. She'd fake me out of their lives. And I pressed. Her handwriting on notes. Frame him if he fights. Victor co-signed. We're bringing them both in for questioning tonight. Relief mixed with fury. Quiet revenge building. Her lies unraveling thread by thread. Hung up, told Preston. He hooped. This buries her. But as I celebrated small, headlights again. Slow past the house. This time, I grabbed my keys, slipped out quiet. Tailed the car 2 blocks. Black sedan, no plates still. Pulled into a lot near Victor's real estate office. Door opened. Victor stepped out, phone to ear. Looked right at my truck's shadow. Smiled. Like he knew. Back home, locks double-checked. Boys safe. But Victor's smile burned. He wasn't running. He was plotting. And Brooks' warning about the payout suddenly felt like the clock was ticking louder. What came next could break us all, or end her game for good. Victor's smile in that parking lot shadow stuck with me like shrapnel under the skin. He wasn't scared. He was confident, like a man holding aces in a game I didn't even know we were playing. I drove home slow, eyes flicking to the mirrors, making sure no one tailed me back to the boys. Logan and Mason were sprawled on the living room floor, building a Lego fortress that looked a lot like our old house, complete with a tiny basement level they kept covered with a blanket. Dad, want to help? Mason asked, holding up a crooked tower. I knelt down, added a wall. What's this part for? Protection, Logan said matter of fact. From bad guys downstairs. Their words hit quiet, but I forced a grin. Smart design. Unbreakable. Sleep was out of the question again. I sat at the kitchen table till 2 a.m., laptop open, digging deeper on Victor. Public records, old news clips, anything. The assault charge from 5 years back? Bar fight in a dive near his first bankruptcy. Guy he hit ended up in the hospital. Broken jaw, cracked ribs. Charges dropped when the victim vanished. Witnesses too. Real estate hustler with a muscle streak. But the insurance angle gnawed at me. Why chain the boys? Why now? Dawn brought Detective Grant's update. Hale, questioning went south for them. Morgan lawyered up silent. Victor? Claims the forgeries were a joke gone wrong. But we've got the notes. Holding them 48 hours. House still taped. Yeah. And we found more. Basement floorboards loose. Lifted empty space underneath. Like they hid something small. Drugs? Docs? Labs checking. My mind raced. Appreciate it. Boys okay here. For now, stay vigilant. Preston swung by mid-morning with coffee and files. Harper's fast-tracking the fraud hearing. Brooks' full depot seals it. She'll testify Victor pressured Morgan into the custody fakes. Says he wanted the house sold quick. Cash out before your visits ramped up. Sold with the boys inside? The thought sickened me. He shrugged grim. Her words, collateral for his debts. Victor's bankruptcies? Tied to bad loans. House equity was their lifeline. Boys needed routine, so I took them to the park. Swings, slides, ice cream, normal dad stuff. Logan opened up on the bench. Dad, Victor said you killed people overseas. Is that true? Training kicked in, honest but measured. I protected my team, buddy. Did what I had to. But here, I protect you. Always. He nodded slow. He's meaner than you. Punches walls. Mom cries after. Mason chimed in. She told us to hate you. Said you left us for guns. Rage simmered, but I hugged them tight. Never left. Fought to come back every time. Afternoon brought Tessa's session. She worked with them on drawings again, this time timelines. What happened when? Logan sketched the basement clearest. Chains, dim light, Victor's boots on the stairs. He said, stay quiet or Dad gets hurt next. Tessa's eyes met mine later. Threats against you? That's escalation. Document it. I showed her the text, the tailing car. She forwarded to Clara. PI card still good. Yeah. Hiring today. The private investigator was a grizzled ex-cop named Felix. Met him at a diner off the highway. No office, cash up front. What's the target? Victor. Full background. Associates, money trails, anything tying to my ex or the boys. He eyed me. Black Ops vibe. Got it. 2 days. Evening routine. Dinner, stories, lights out. But as I checked the cameras, motion pinged, backyard fence. Grainy feed showed a figure in dark hoodie, prying at the gate latch. Gone in seconds. Heart hammered. Called Grant. Possible breach attempt. Sending a unit. Locked down. Cops swept the yard. Footprints in the soft dirt. Size 11 men's. Victor's build. No arrest without more. Boys slept through it, thank goodness. I didn't. Sat by their door with a baseball bat. Legal, close enough. Next day cracked open the mid-story bomb. Preston called frantic at 9 a.m. Get to the station. Now. I dropped the boys with Ivy. She insisted, they're safe here. Raced over. Grant met me in a sterile interview room. Morgan and Victor separated, both in orange jumpsuits. Sit, hail. What's up? He slid a folder. Lab on the basement void. Not drugs. A burner phone. Texts recovered. I flipped pages. Messages between Victor and Brooke. Victor. Chains ready. Boys tomorrow. Brooke. Make it look good. Insurance needs accident vibe. Victor. Morgan's on board. Payout splits 3 ways. My world tilted. Brooke? The sister who turned state's witness? Grant leaned in. She played you. Fed us half-truths to buy time. Her key under the mat? Planted. Texts prove she was in on the chaining. Look out. Alibi prep. Son of a words failed. Morgan no. Does now? They're turning on each other. Victor sang first. Said Brooke masterminded for her cut. Needed the house sold to cover her own debts. Gambling. Preston burst in. Hearings today. Harper's pissed. Contempt if Brooke doesn't show. Courtroom felt like a pressure cooker. Judge Harper's face thunder. Ms. Hale, Mr. Ruiz. Forgery, endangerment, conspiracy. And Ms. Ellis. Brooke dragged in late, cuffed. Her eyes darted to me. No tears now, just calculation. Your Honor, I was coerced. Harper cut her off. Save it. Detective. Grant testified the texts, phone chain of custody. Ivy backed from the stand. Saw Brooke's car their night of the basement. Multiple times. Logan, my brave kid, took the stand too. Aunt Brooke brought candy once. Said stay quiet about downstairs or no more visits. Gasps rippled. Morgan buried her face. Victor stared at the floor. Harper ruled swift. Emergency custody permanent to Mr. Hale. House lien for restitution. All three held without bail pending trial. Fraud, conspiracy charges filed. Gavel bang echoed like freedom. Outside, Preston clapped my shoulder. Mid-game win. But Victor's smiling and holding. Says he's got to play. Boys reunited, hugging fierce. Andy bad too? Mason asked. Yeah, kiddo. But we're good now. Lies for their peace. Night fell heavy. Felix's prelim report hit my email. Victor's real estate? Shell company. Tied to a loan shark named Hunter. That's massive. House was escape plan, stage tragedy. Collect insurance, vanish. Brooke the insider, Morgan the weak link. But one line chilled. Victor met Hunter last week. Post-chaining. Headlights again. This time, multiple cars circling the block. Phone buzzed. Unknown. You think it's over? Hunter says hello. Attached photo. My truck's VIN, tailed last night. Quiet revenge? This was turning hot. Her house wasn't the war zone yet, but mine was next on the map. And with Hunter in play, the real battle lines just redrew themselves around my boys. That photo of my truck's VIN with Hunter's name hit like a warning shot over the bow. I didn't sleep after. Instead, I packed a go bag for the boys, clothes, meds, cash, passports. Just in case. Old habits from deployments where plans went sideways fast. Morning came gray and tense. Logan woke first, padding into the kitchen where I nursed black coffee. Dad, you okay? I pulled him onto my lap, something we hadn't done since he was little. Yeah, buddy. Just thinking about how strong you are. Like your old man. He leaned his head on my shoulder. Stronger than Victor? Way stronger. Mason joined us, yawning, and we ate pancakes in silence. Family armor against the storm outside. Preston called at 8 sharp. Victor's talking deal. Immunity for flipping on Hunter. Says the loan shark pushed the insurance scam. House as collateral. Boys as leverage for a bigger payout. Leverage. My voice went flat. Staged accident. Chains to make it look self-inflicted or runaway gone wrong. Hunter's muscle would find the scene. Sick twisted in my gut. And Morgan broke down and holding. Blames Victor fully. Brooke's gambling debt started it. She roped them in. Court that day was a circus. Judge Harper's courtroom packed. Reporters in the back. Clara and Tessa in the front row for support. Victor took the stand first, shackled, sweating under the lights. Quentin, his lawyer, paced. Mr. Ruiz, tell the court. Debt to Hunter. 50 grand. He wanted the house equity. Morgan weak spot. Hated Adrian. Wanted him out. Brooke planned the chain bit for sympathy, insurance trigger. Gasps from the gallery. Morgan glared daggers from the defense table. Harper interrupted. Specifics on the boys? Victor swallowed. Locked them to sell story. Hunter's guy supposed to discover them hurt. Trigger policy. Split 3 ways. Logan squeezed my hand under the table. Mason whispered. Liar. Prosecutor cross-examined hard. Your prints on the chains? Yeah. But Hunter ordered it. And the tailing car? The threats. His crew. Warning shots. Victor's eyes flicked to me. No smile now, just fear. Brooke's turn crushed her. Cuffed, makeup gone. She sobbed through testimony. I needed money. Casino losses. Victor promised quick cash. Never meant real harm. Harper's voice cut ice. Endangerment of nephews isn't quick cash, Ms. Ellis. Ivy testified next, steady. Saw Brooke's car nights before. Argued with Morgan in the yard. Heard insurance, clear as day. Hearing wrapped with Harper's interim. Bail denied all. Fraud trial in 30 days. Mr. Hale retains full custody. Restitution hearing on house next week. Outside, flashbulbs popped. I shielded the boys, Clara blocking. No comment, Preston barked. Home felt like a fort now. Cameras rolling 24/7, doors bolted. Tessa's scheduled extra sessions. Trauma bonds breaking. Logan's anger surfacing, good sign. Mason drew Hunter as a monster under the bed. He's coming. Not on my watch. I promised, taping it to the fridge like art. Felix delivered full report that evening. Met in his truck down the street. Hunter's bad news. Ex-con runs underground loans through Victor's shells. 2 assaults tied. 1 unsolved kid case. Runaway suicide 5 years back. Pattern. He's the tail. Likely. And this. Felix slid photos. Hunter and Victor shaking hands outside the house, week before chains. Timestamp matched. Debt collection turning personal. Night brought action. 1 a.m. Camera pinged. 2 figures scaling my backyard fence. Hoodies, gloves, one with a crowbar. I woke the boys quiet. Herded them to the closet-safe room I'd rigged years ago. Reinforced door, supplies for 24 hours. Game time. Stay put. No sound. They nodded, eyes wide but trusting. Downstairs, lights off. I grabbed the bat, positioned by the back door. Glass shattered. They were in. Footsteps heavy. Whispers. Grab the kid pics first. Boss wants proof. Hunter's crew. For leverage. First guy through, big, masked. I swung low, cracked his knee. He crumpled, howling. Second lunged, crowbar high. I sidestepped, drove elbow into his throat. Gasp dropped. Back connected with shoulders. Non-lethal, but they'd walk funny. Zip ties from the drawer, phones smashed. Called Grant. 2 in custody. Backyard. Hunter's men. Cops swarmed. Boys emerged shaking but unhurt. You okay, Dad? Logan asked, hugging fierce. Bump on the knuckles. You. Scared. But you won. Interrogation room next morning. I ID'd the creeps. Grant grinned. Victor's deal holds. They're singing. Hunter ordered the hit on your place to force a settlement. House or boys? Preston leveraged it. Emergency lien on the house that afternoon. Harper signed. Frozen assets. Pending auction for victim restitution. Morgan's lawyer called Preston desperate. She wants to talk. Privately. I agreed. Neutral room at the station. Glass partition. She looked broken. No makeup, hair limp. Adrian. I didn't know it'd go this far. Tears real this time. Chains weren't far enough. Cold. Victor and Brooke. Push me. I was scared of losing the house. Them. You winning. Why hate so deep? You left us for war. I snapped. Deployed. Not left. Pause. Boys hate the dark now. Because of you. She sobbed. Tell them sorry. Earn it in court. Walked out. Evening peace shattered by Felix. Hunters hold up. But word's out. He's cutting losses. Might torch the house to kill equity. Threat real. I drove by slow that night. Yellow tape flapping. Windows dark. Smoke smell faint. Paranoia. Boys tucked in, I sat vigil. Phone buzzed. Tessa. They're resilient. Building trust again. Good. But Hunter loose meant no endgame yet. Headlights circled again. This time, fire truck sirens wailed distant, toward her street. My phone lit. Grant. House fire. Arson. Empty, but total loss. Victor's war zone lit up. Hunter burning bridges. But karma circled back. Firefighters pulled evidence bags from the rubble. Burner phone melted, but data recoverable. Hunter's number last dial. Quiet justice ticking. Her empire ashes. Mine standing. Boy's door creaked. Mason's nightmare voice. Bad men. All gone. I whispered, holding tight. But deep down, I knew the final push loomed. Hunter wouldn't fade quiet. Chapter 7. Hunter's gambit sirens faded into the night, but the glow from Morgan's burning house lit the sky orange for blocks. I held Mason close, his small chest rising and falling against mine as the nightmare ebbed. Logan stood in the doorway, blanket dragged behind him like a shield. Is it over now, Dad? The fire. I wished I could say yes. Getting there, boys. Come on, back to bed. But sleep was a joke for all of us after that. We piled into my bed instead. A fort of pillows and quiet stories about fishing trips we'd take someday, far from basements and bad men. Grant called at first light, voice gravelly from the scene. Arson confirmed. Accelerant in the kitchen, timed for max damage. Pulled a partial print. Matches one of Hunter's known associates. Victor's spilling more in isolation. Hunter fronted the loan on threats alone. Wanted the insurance double dip. Fire after the tragedy staging. Staging that never happened. My free hand clenched the phone. Right? But data from the melted burner? Ties Hunter direct to the chain's order. We're raiding his spot today. Preston patched in. House gone means no equity fight. Harper's auctioning the lot tomorrow. Restitution straight to you for therapy, security. Morgan's begging plea deal now. Boys needed air, so we hit the backyard after breakfast. They chased a ball while I scanned fences, cameras looping clean. Felix texted updates. Hunter's warehouse hit. Empty. He's ghosting. Noon brought Tessa's home visit. She sat cross-legged on the rug with Logan and Mason, puppets in play. Tell the monster what you're mad about. Logan gripped his. You locked us. Hurt Dad. Mason smashed his puppet down. No more chains. Tessa nodded slow. Good. Let it out. Later. To me. They're turning corner. Anger at her shifting to strength. But you? Watch for burnout. This war's wearing you thin. She was right. Mirrors showed hollow eyes, like deployment days. Afternoon courthouse run for the lot auction. Harper presided quick. Property to Mr. Hale at minimum bid. Symbolic restitution. Title transfers Monday. Preston grinned outside. Your war zone now legally. Build whatever. Safe house. Sell it. Burn it symbolic. Your call. Symbolic. The word stuck. That house wasn't victory yet. It was ground zero for their lies. Evening shattered routine. Ivy knocked frantic, boys playing inside. Adrian saw a car idling by my place. Hunter's description, tall, scarred face. Asked about you. Chill ran deep. You okay? Yeah, but he knows I'm witness. I called Grant, patrol dispatched. Felix confirmed. Hunter mobile, desperate. Cutting loose ends. Tucked boys early, extra locks, bat by bed. 11 p.m., glass break downstairs, kitchen window. Footsteps deliberate, no rush. Hunter himself? I crept down silent, heart steady from training. Shadow in the hall, big frame, scarred cheek glinting under moonlight. Crowbar in hand, rifling drawers for keys. Looking for these? I said low, tossing my truck keys across the room. Distraction. He spun, crowbar raised. Hail. Victor squealed. You took everything. Voice like crushed gravel, eyes wild. Boys say hi. I feinted left, drove knee into his gut. Air whooshed out. Crowbar swung wild. I ducked, cracked his wrist with the bat. Drop. He lunged anyway, fists flying. Punches landed, rib shot, jaw graze. I tasted blood, countered with elbow to temple. Down he went, groaning. Zip ties, 911. Intruder down. Send backup. Cops hauled him out cuffed, spitting curses. Insurance was legit. She owed me. Grant arrived, reading rights fresh. Attempted B&E, assault. Stacks with conspiracy. Boys peeked from stairs, wide-eyed. You fought him, Logan whispered. Yeah, but good guys won. Hugs all around. Adrenaline crash hitting hard. Interrogation leaked fast. Hunter cracked under pressure. Full confession tying the plot. Loans to Victor. Pressure on Morgan via Brooke. Chains as setup for fire claim. House burn was cleanup. Kids collateral if needed. Prosecutor looped Preston. Triple charges. Life sentences likely for all three. Morgan's plea accepted next morning. 20 years. No parole first decade. Victor and Brooke followed suit. But Hunter's raid uncovered more. Safe in his warehouse with forged docs. Not just ours, but others. Pattern of scams targeting divorced dads. House was one cog. Clara closed the case file that week. Boys cleared for normal life. Your gold, Adrian. Title papers arrived Monday. I stood on the scorched lot with Logan and Mason, yellow tape gone, ashes raked clean. What now, Dad? Mason asked. I knelt, handed them each a small shovel. We built, not chains, a fort. They dug first holes, laughing real for once. Contractors came next, plans for a play structure, garden, memorial plaque, safe ground. No war zone. Healing zone. Tessa's final check. Trauma fading. They're kids again. Logan drew our new fort. No basements, all light. Preston closed files. All liens paid. You're free. Night's quiet now. No headlights. No whispers. Morgan's letters started. Apologies, therapy notes from prison. I read one to the boys. She says sorry. Logan shrugged. Okay, but we stay here. Mason nodded fierce. One loose end. Ivy over for dinner. You turned it around. Team effort. But deep, I knew, quiet dignity won. No guns, no rage. Just truth, patience, family. Her house, transformed from hell to haven. Karma full circle. Boys raced in the yard. Chains a ghost story they'd outgrow. I watched, chest full. We're finally over. But scars? They teach. And mine made me unbreakable. Standing on that scorched lot with the boys' shovels in the dirt felt like crossing a line I didn't know was there, from survival to something like hope. But hope's fragile, especially when the other side still has cards to play. Logan scooped another pile, grinning through the soot smudges on his cheeks. This gonna be our castle, Dad? No doors for bad guys. Mason piled dirt high, with moats, deep ones. I laughed soft, the sound foreign after weeks of tension. Moats and towers. Your design. But as they dug, my phone vibrated in my pocket. Preston. Adrian. Hold off on contractors. New wrinkle. We wrapped the build day, grabbed burgers on the way home. Boys chattered plans, sketching on napkins. Normalcy creeping in, inch by inch. But Preston's call gnawed. I waited till bedtime stories, then dialed back. What's the wrinkle? Morgan's appeal. Filed today through Quentin. Claims duress from Victor and Brooke. Wants reduced sentence, visitation rights. My grip tightened on the counter. Visitation? After chains. Symbolic. But Harper's reviewing. And Hunter's crew? One slipped bail. Small fry, but spotted near Ivy's street yesterday. No full win yet. Echoes lingered. Next morning, Tessa's session dug deeper. She had the boys act out what-if scenarios with dolls, house, family, basement monster. Logan directed fierce. Dad fights it off. Monster goes to jail forever. Mason added. Then we plant flowers where it was. Tessa pulled me aside after, coffee in hand. Progress huge. But Logan's fixating on protection. Checks locks 3 times nightly. Teach him boundaries, not fear. She was spot on. That night, I showed them the new cameras, explained safe words for emergencies. You're safe, but smart. Logan tested the locks himself, satisfied nod. Felix dropped a final report drop-off at the park. No charge, pro bono closure. Hunter's locked federal now, conspiracy racketeering. His pattern exposed. 5 other families targeted same way. You're the domino. Photos inside. Ledgers linking Victor's shells to Hunter's loans. Morgan's signature forged on payouts. She knew margins, played small. Brooke the gambler spark. Gratitude hit. Means the world, Felix. He shrugged. Seen worse. You played clean. Afternoon brought Clara's closure visit. Paperwork signed. Custody permanent. No reviews needed. Therapy funded through restitution. Call anytime. Boys hugged her goodbye, real smiles. Thanks for believing us. She winked at me. Fathers like you? Easy. But evening cracked the calm. Ivy called panicked. Adrian, that bail guy, short, tattoos, cornered me at the store. Said tell Hale to drop the appeal or boys next. Threat direct. I alerted Grant immediate. Trace him. Protection detail. Approved. Patrol on your street tonight. Ivy got an escort home. Slept light, back close. No breaches. Dawn patrol confirmed. Tattoo guy nabbed at a motel. Phone pinging Hunter's old number. Message from the boss, he muttered in cuffs. Interrogation broke him quick. Morgan put him up through Quinton, last-ditch scare to sway her appeal. Court reconvened unannounced. Emergency motion. Harper's chamber again. Boys with Tessa outside. Morgan via video link from prison. Pale, hollow. Adrian, please. I was manipulated. Her eyes pleaded. Boys need a mom eventually. Preston countered. Endangerment permanent. Appeal baseless. I spoke last, voice steady. You chained them. Laugh with him upstairs. That's not mom. That's monster. Harper shut it down. Appeal denied. Sentence stands. No contact, ever. Video cut. Her face crumpling final. Outside, boys ran up. Did we win again? Mason asked. Big time. Hugs tight. House lot cleared fully next day. Ashes hauled. Soil tested clean. Contractors broke ground on the fort. Swings, slide tower, garden boxes. Boys supervised, handing tools, bossing pros. Logan etched safe zone on a beam. Preston met me there, papers in hand. Title yours free and clear. Sell, keep whatever. Keep. Legacy. Night fell peaceful, stars clear. Boys crashed early, fort dreams bubbling in sleep talk. I sat porch, first real breath in months. Phone quiet. No threats. But one shadow. Letter from Morgan, forwarded. Read alone. I lost everything chasing hate. Boys deserve better. Forgive for them. Burned it in the sink. Forgiveness later, maybe. Justice now. Ivy joined for movie night next week. Popcorn, cartoons. You turned hell to home. Team. But her hand lingered on mine. New layer? Tom would tell. Fort opening day. Ribbon cut by Logan and Mason. Neighbors cheering. Ivy brought cake. Tessa snapped pics. Clara toasted. Play started instant. Laughter echoing where chains once rattled. Warzone reborn playground. Quiet revenge complete. Almost. One final echo waited. The fort stood proud under the afternoon sun, swings creaking with the boys' laughter as they tested every beam and slide for the 10th time that week. Neighbors milled around with lemonade, chatting like this was just another block party, not the rebirth of a nightmare site. Ivy handed me a plate of cake, her smile warm, but eyes holding that quiet question we'd both been dodging. Looks good on you, Adrian. Peace. I nodded, watching Logan climb the tower he'd designed himself. Feels good too. But peace? It's earned, not given. Mason raced down the slide, yelling victory, and for a second, the world shrank to just us. Father and sons, unbreakable now. Preston pulled me aside near the garden boxes, where we'd planted the first seeds that morning. All clean on paper. Title ironclad. Restitution checks incoming. Therapy, security upgrades, even a college fund starter. He clapped my shoulder. You beat the system without breaking it. Team effort, I said again, but inside, gratitude swelled. No more liens, no shadows on the deed. That house, once her weapon, now ours, a testament etched in wood and soil. Tessa arrived late, camera in hand for milestone pics. She captured Logan etching deeper into the beam. No more dark. Mason added stars around it. Family crest, he declared. Tessa knelt to their level. What does it mean? Logan shrugged grown-up wise. We win. Bad stuff gone. She looked up at me later. Thumbs up. Textbook healing. Nightmares down to once a week. Your textbook, Dad. Clara swung by too. Official folder tucked underarm. Final sign-off. Case closed permanent. Random check-ins optional. Your call. Boys mobbed her with hugs. You're our hero too. She laughed, eyes misty. Nah, that's all, Dad. Evening wound down soft. Grill smoke fading, stars popping one by one. Ivy stayed to help clean up, our talk drifting easy from fort plans to old movies. Her hand brushed mine stacking chairs, lingered a beat. Dinner sometime? No stakes. Yeah, I said simple. Soon. First step into maybe. Boys noticed, giggling from the porch. Dad's got a friend. Logan teased. Mason mimicked a kiss. Laughter real light, but nights still whispered doubts. Bedtime routine locked in. Stories, locks checked together, goodnight fists. I crashed hard, dreamless for once. Till 3 a.m. jolt. Phone buzzing insistent. Unknown number, but Grant's precinct prefix. Answered groggy. Hail? Detective here. You sitting. Spit it. Adrenaline snapped me vertical. Hunter flipped full. Not just your case. Federal ring busted wide. 10 families targeted, same scam. Divorce traps, kid leverage, insurance fires. Victor his Midwest point man. Morgan? Low-level bait. Bait. The word twisted fresh. And Brooke's trial tomorrow. She's naming names. Quentin in on the forgeries. Deep. Even Ivy's ex was peripheral. Tipped Victor off about her witnessing. Ivy. My gut dropped. Hung up. Texted her quick. You safe? New intel. Reply instant. Locking doors. Talk tomorrow. Dawn patrol car idled extra long outside. Precaution. Boys up early. For calling. School restarted Monday. Half days gentle. Drop them with Tessa first for transition session. New normal, she coached. Celebrate small. Courthouse overflowed for Brooke's sentencing. Reporters thick. Families from other cases glaring daggers. Harper presided stern. Gallery packed with victims like me. Brooke shuffled in. No tears now, just resignation. Quentin at her side, sweating bullets. Prosecutor opened brutal. Ms. Ellis orchestrated endangerment of her own nephews, conspired in fraud ring spanning states. Texts, ledgers, witness flips bury her. Brooke took the stand, voice flat. Gambling spiral. Victor pulled me in. Morgan weak. But Hunter? Puppet master. Used our family hate as lever. She glanced my way. No apology, just fact. Adrian's boys? Collateral. Like others. Cross-exam gutted her. You drove to the house night of chains. What? Alibi drop. Candy for cover. Gasps rippled. Plan the frame on Adrian. Make him look unstable. Win custody permanent for Victor's sale. Harper's eyes narrowed. Sentencing. 25 years, minimum 15. No appeals. Gavel fell final. Quentin slunk out. FBI tails on him already. Outside, Grant cornered me. Quentin arrested en route. Forgery's his specialty, Ring's lawyer. Ivy's ex. Confirmed tipster, immunity for testimony. Relief mixed shock. Ivy's past tangled too. Called her from the lot. Clear. Yeah. Ex was slime. Broke up years ago. Never knew depth. Dinner still. Double now. With backup. Picked up boys from school. High fives all around. Ford after homework. Logan begged. Mason. An ice cream. Deal struck. Home felt solid. Cameras winking green. Dinner with Ivy that night turned real. Pasta. Wine light. Boys in bed early. She opened up porch side. Ex was Victor's golf buddy. Fed him dirt on me watching. Thought it coincidence till now. Hand on hers. Past ash. Like the house. Stars wheeled overhead. First kiss tentative, right, spark after storm. But final layer peeled next morning. Preston urgent. Morgan's last card. Handwritten confession filed overnight. Full mea culpa. Wants it read in open court for boys someday. Read it alone first. Pages shook in my hands. I chained them hating you. Victor prayed. Brooke schemed. Hunter loomed. But choice mine. Ruined us. Tell Logan. Mason. Mom broke. Fix what I can't. Signed. Notarized prison. Tessa reviewed. Healing tool. Share edited when they're ready. Boys overheard snippets. Logan quiet. She's sorry. Yeah. Actions speak now. Mason hugged. We got you, Dad. Ford evolved weekly. Treehouse added. Neighbors pitching in. Ivy weekly fixture. Her laugh mixing with boys. Clara's check-ins became barbecues. Tessa declared graduated. Felix sent holiday card. Domino held. Hunter's ring crumbled public. News cycles. Congressional hearings. Our story anonymized lead. Harper wrote personal note. Justice served clean. Months blurred to normal. School plays, soccer games, fort sleepovers. Morgan's letters monthly, progress reports, art for boys. Logan read one aloud first time. She's trying. Forgiveness seed planted. One night, full moon lit the fort. Boys camped out, Ivy beside me watching. War zone to Wonderland, she murmured. Quiet revenge, I said. Chain's memory faded, scars stories now. But deepest close. Basement pipe dug up during expansion. Rusted links twisted free, buried under fort foundation. Boys hammered last nail symbolic. Gone forever. I nodded, chest tight. Her house our zone. Dignity reclaimed, karma etched permanent. The fort had grown into something legendary by summer's end. Not just swings and slides anymore, but a full treehouse with rope bridges, a zip line the boys begged Ivy to test first, and those garden boxes bursting with tomatoes and sunflowers that Mason swore tasted sweeter because we planted them ourselves. Neighbors turned it into a block landmark. Kids from 3 streets over asking for playdates. Logan ran the shift schedule on a chalkboard nailed to the tower, assigning guard duty like a mini general. Dad, your night watch, he'd say with a salute, and I'd play along, flashlight in hand, patrolling the perimeter while they roasted marshmallows in a fire pit we dug together. Ivy fit seamless now, not a guest, but part of the rhythm. She'd bring her toolkit for repairs, teach the boys basic knots from her hiking days, and on quiet evenings, we'd sit on the porch swing she'd hung herself, her head on my shoulder, watching fireflies dance where ashes once lay. This place, she'd whisper, it's proof people rebuild better. The boys adored her, and Ivy stuck fast, no blood required. One night, Logan asked straight, "You staying forever?" She glanced at me, squeezed my hand. "If your dad says okay." He grinned wide. "He will." Therapy wrapped official with Tess's goodbye barbecue. No more weekly clocks, just an open door. She hugged the boys fierce. "You 3? Unbreakable team." Logan's leadership shines, Mason's joy infectious, Adrian's steady heart holds it all. Clara sent a framed certificate. Case exemplar. Resilience achieved. Hung it in the kitchen, right by the fridge art that evolved from dark scribbles to colorful forts and families. Legal echoes faded too. Preston called one crisp fall morning, voice lighter than I'd heard. All appeals exhausted. Morgan's serving clean, model inmate, vocational training and counseling. Victor deported pending racketeering, Brooke transferred states away. Hunter's federal trial? Life without. Quentin disbarred, facing his own cell. Restitution flowed steady. Boys' college locked, security fund beefed, even a vacation jar filling for Disney dreams. Her house, our zone, appraised double post rebuild, legacy secured. But the real depth hit during harvest. We picked the garden heavy with veggies, boys in mud up to elbows. Logan unearthed something mid-dig, that rusted chain link from the basement pipe, half buried like a relic from another life. He held it up, not scared now, just curious. "What's this tell us, Dad?" I knelt, took it gentle. "It tells us we won. Pain buried, growth on top." Mason grabbed a shovel. "Smash it." We did. All 3 hammers on concrete till it shattered to dust. Ivy filmed quiet, tears tracking. Perfect closure. Scattered the powder in the garden. Fertilizer for new. Morgan's letters kept coming, monthly like clockwork. Boys read them together now, Logan decoding the big words for Mason. One stood out. Drawings of chains turned swings. Caption what I broke, you fixed. No requests, just amends. Logan folded it careful. She's learning late. But okay. Forgiveness not full, but space cracked open, healing's slow burn. Winter brought first snow, fort blanketed white. We built snowman armies. Ivy starting a snowball war that ended in laughter piles. School awards night. Logan for leadership council, Mason for art club star. I sat front row, chest bursting, Ivy's hand in mine. Principal nodded post-ceremony. Your family story? Inspiration quiet. Whispers from other parents. Our block legend spread. but we kept details locked. Spring thawed routines deeper. Boys joined soccer, me coaching weekends. Ivy scouted trails for family hikes, her steady presence filling gaps I didn't know lingered. One trail summit, panoramic view, Logan asked the big one, "Dad, why'd Mom do it?" Really? Truth time, age ready. Fear and bad choices snowballed. Victor prayed, Brooke schemed, Hunter forced. But Root? She lost herself hating what I did, protecting people like you overseas. Chose wrong path. Mason piped up, "We choose you." Hugs and wind, unbreakable circle. Summer looped back, Fort Anniversary bash. Neighbors grilled, music played, kids zipped endless. Ivy pulled me aside at dusk, ring box simple in her palm. Not proposal, promise. If you want forever here. Heart full nodded yes. Boys overheard, cheers erupted. And Ivy stays. But the deepest emotional peak crested that night, stars thick overhead. Boys crashed early, for its sleepover with pals. Ivy and I walked the yard, hands linked. Stopped at the memorial plaque, safe ground, built from strength. I traced the words. From chains to this. Quiet revenge wasn't destruction, it was creation. She turned me gentle. You gave them a world where dark loses. What's that feel like? A question hung heavy, raw in the quiet. How do you forgive the monster who birthed your heroes, when their light outshines every scar she left? If this gripped your heart like it did mine telling it, drop a like to honor stories of unbreakable bonds. Subscribe for more raw betrayal tales that heal as they hurt, and comment below. Where are you watching from? Your city or country? Tell me what kinds of stories you crave next. More family revenge, cheating heartbreaks, quiet justice wins? I'll craft exactly those epics just for you. See you in the next thriller where karma strikes silent and true. Story is finished.